I better be careful, apparently. Yeah. I think I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well. The difference is I can grapple. I've got a lot of power. And I think that's pretty undeniable at this stage of my career. I've got a lot of knockouts on my record, mate. I have to touch you once, and I wasn't even throwing heavy tonight. I thought it was going to be a 5-rounder. I didn't mean to knock him out. I was pretty sure that that was going to be a 5-round fight tonight, and just takes one shot, mate, at heavyweight, especially with me.
I don't see that fight getting out of the first round. Right. I think Tom is phenomenal. I think he's absolutely the best heavyweight we've ever seen in the UFC. I said to him, it sucks to win the belt that way, to be the champion this way, that no one's going to remember that in 3 fights time. They're just going to remember what you've done and that you are the champion of the world and you're the best in the division, and that's it.
The heavyweight division is heating up once again, and UFC 321 could deliver one of the most explosive main events in recent memory. Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane are set to collide in a matchup that's already sending shockwaves through the MMA world. Both men are known for their elite striking, speed, and technical precision. But according to several MMA legends, this one might not make it past the first round. In the days leading up to the fight, icons of the sport, from former champions to respected analysts, have weighed in, and the consensus is clear. Someone's getting finished early. Aspinall's lightning-fast combinations and killer instinct have made him one of the most feared heavyweights on the roster, while Gane's slick footwork and pinpoint accuracy could make him just as dangerous on the counter. Add in the intensity of a title-level showdown, and fans are bracing for fireworks from the opening bell. As both fighters prepare for their biggest test yet, anticipation is reaching a fever pitch. Will Aspinall's pressure and power overwhelm Gane early? Or will the Frenchman's composure and timing lead to a stunning knockout of his own? One thing's certain. When the octagon door closes at UFC 321, expect chaos, drama, and possibly one of the most unforgettable first rounds in heavyweight history. UFC President Dana White didn't hold back his excitement when speaking about the bout. Aspinall's the real deal. Fast, powerful, and dangerous everywhere, he said. But Gane's a technician. He's smooth, precise, and one of the best strikers we've ever seen at heavyweight. This fight has everything. 2 elite athletes, both in their prime, both with knockout power. With that statement, the stage is officially set for one of the most anticipated title fights of the year. UFC 321 will mark the promotion's return to Abu Dhabi's Etihad Arena, a fitting stage for a global showdown of this magnitude. Aspinall, coming off a string of dominant finishes, will look to solidify his reign as the undisputed king of the heavyweights. Gane, meanwhile, seeks redemption and a shot at reclaiming glory after rebuilding his momentum with back-to-back wins. As Dana White himself put it, when these two step into the octagon, don't blink. This one could end in the first round. The countdown to UFC 321 has officially begun, and all eyes are on Abu Dhabi as the heavyweight division prepares for a collision that could define a new era.
All right, now, UFC 321, October 25th, Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall will face Ciryl Gane. Aspinall has 15 wins, and all of them are by finish. Gane is the #1 ranked heavyweight. You can go to, tickets go on sale this Friday.
British heavyweight phenom Tom Aspinall is staring down what could be the defining moment of his career. His first defense of the undisputed UFC heavyweight title against Ciryl Gane at UFC 321, scheduled for October 25th in Abu Dhabi. Having been elevated to champion status after John Jones's retirement, Aspinall enters the bout with a laser focus on making a statement. He told reporters he's been in the zone from day one, saying he's going to get rid of Ciryl Gane from the title picture for good. Aspinall acknowledges the magnitude of the challenge. He admitted there's pressure, a fear of being embarrassed on such a massive stage, and no room for mistakes. But make no mistake, he says he's prepared. He pointed to years of preparation, the canceled matchups with Gane in the past, and now the opportunity is finally here. I know what's at stake, Aspinall emphasized, and I'll be ready when the octagon door closes. With both men at the peak of their powers, the stakes could not be higher. If Aspinall executes his game plan, combining speed, power, and grappling dominance, He believes he will not only defend his belt, but also reshape the heavyweight division's narrative. The countdown is on, and Aspinall's message is loud and clear. He's arrived.
That's great because I fight really, really, really well under pressure. You know, there's a couple of types of guys. I've been around martial arts for my whole life, near enough at this point. And, you know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters. And they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself who are not that good in the gym, but get under the lights, get under the pressure with all the chips on the table, and they get in there and do things that they would never be able to do in the gym. And that is exactly what I do, and I feel like that's one of my big...
Chael Sonnen has weighed in on what could be the most important heavyweight fight of the year, Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane, headlining UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. As always, Sonnen isn't mincing words. The former middleweight contender turned analyst says this fight is absolutely necessary for the future of the heavyweight division. According to Sonnen, the matchup between Aspinall and Gane isn't just another title defense. It's a moment that could redefine the division's hierarchy. If Tom Aspinall can't finish Ciryl Gane, Sonnen said on his YouTube show, then maybe he's not the guy we thought he was. You can't just wear the crown. You've got to earn it. And that means taking out a technician like Gane in a definitive way. Sonnen's take highlights the growing pressure on Aspinall, who enters the fight as one of the fastest rising champions in UFC history. The British powerhouse has built his reputation on speed, precision, and finishing ability, but Sonnen argues that this fight will test his composure like never before. Aspinall's got all the talent in the world, Sonnen continued, but Ciryl Gane is a surgeon. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't get rattled, and he can make world-class heavyweights look average. That's a real problem for a guy like Tom if he's expecting an early finish. On the other side, Sonnen praised Gane for his elite striking and movement, traits rarely seen at heavyweight. Gane's not a brawler, he's an artist, Sonnen said. His footwork, his timing, the way he reads opponents. It's like watching a welterweight fight in a heavyweight's body. But the question is, can he handle the pace and the pressure that Aspinall brings? Because Tom doesn't fight slow. He starts fast, he hunts you down, and he doesn't give you room to breathe.
Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. Are you ready for the interim championship? According to a remarkably good source, Jon Jones is going to be afforded the ability to wait 180 days, which is equivalent to 6 months, which is what he asked for. Tom Aspinall is going to fight with Ciryl Gane. And now we're going to defend an interim champion with the existence of an undisputed champion, which is against the laws of logic.
The self-proclaimed bad guy also touched on the broader implications of this matchup for the UFC's heavyweight picture. With Jon Jones on the sidelines and the belt finally up for grabs in a meaningful showdown, Sonnen believes this fight will establish the true king of the division. This isn't about who's the interim champ or who's next in line. This is the fight that tells us who the real heavyweight in the world is right now, Sonnen declared. Both these guys represent the next era of the division, and whoever walks out of Abu Dhabi with that belt is going to be the face of heavyweight MMA for years to come. Sonnen even threw in his trademark prediction, teasing fans with his usual confident flair. You want my pick? I'll tell you this fight doesn't see round 3. Somebody's getting slept, and my money says it's going to happen fast. These aren't grinders, these are finishers. I'm talking about a first-round knockout, folks. As UFC 321 draws closer, Sonnen's fiery analysis only adds to the anticipation surrounding the event. With Tom Aspinall's speed and athleticism clashing against Ciryl Gane's technical brilliance, fans are bracing for an all-out war. And if Chael Sonnen's instincts are right, it might end before the first 5 minutes are up.
Aspinall versus Gane is a massive transitional fight for the heavyweight division. What happens after it? I like the idea of Alex versus Tom right now. You want to know what another interesting fight is? Alex versus Ciryl. I believe Alex is in that spot right now. I'm bringing all of this to your attention because right now there's one thing for Jon Jones to do, and that is Tom Aspinall. Regardless of what happens between Ciryl and Tom, if Alex were to move up and beat them,
British heavyweight dynamo Tom Aspinall is leaving no stone unturned ahead of his headline clash with Ciryl Gane at UFC 321, and his latest training reports reveal just how far he's going to sharpen his striking game. Among his camp's most eye-catching moves, working closely with kickboxing legend Rico Verhoeven, a partnership that's seen Aspinall absorb the elite striking instincts of one of the world's greatest stand-up fighters. In exclusive remarks, Aspinall called the sessions tremendous, two of the best strikers in the world, and admitted the experience of training alongside Verhoeven and kickboxing contender Benjamin Adegbuyi in Holland gave him invaluable insights into high-level footwork, angles, and precision. Sportskita Verhoeven, for his part, didn't hold back praise, calling Aspinall a sponge who absorbs technique and returns to the gym with improvements day after day. With Ciryl Gane known for his slick striking and elusive movement, Aspinall's decision to lean into his stand-up and sharpen his tools with a specialist like Verhoeven marks a strategic pivot in his preparation. It's not just about raw power anymore. It's about refining technique, adding touch, and removing the margin for error. As the octagon door closes in Abu Dhabi, Aspinall wants to prove he's more than a knockout artist. He's a complete martial artist, ready for the very best in the division.
You've been training a lot with Rico Verhoeven, a long-standing champion. You've said that you've been picking his mind a lot, right? And what have you been able to take away from him, from a guy that has been champion for over 10 years?
Yeah, me and Rico have been training together for a long time. Rico's actually coming to England next week to help me prepare for this. Rico's the best kickboxer ever. So when I'm fighting another guy with a heavy kickboxing style, of course I need to do that. But you know, this is an MMA fight. He's got a good team. He's been working on his ground game like you just said. I appreciate that. I see that. And I've got to be ready for everything. But when we're talking about Rico's the best to ever kickbox, and he's helping me. So I always appreciate that, of course.
La question c'était, Rico Verhoeven est venu s'entraîner avec Tom Aspinall, il s'entraîne avec lui, donc qu'est-ce qu'il lui a apporté à son jeu? Et la réponse est tout simplement c'est le meilleur kickboxer de tous les temps, et quand on doit combattre contre quelqu'un qui fait du kickboxing, eh bien c'est essentiel de s'entraîner avec le meilleur. Je sais que Ciryl a dit qu'il s'entraîne sur son jeu au sol, j'apprécie le fait qu'il le fait, je suis conscient qu'il le fasse, mais ça reste un kickboxer, et donc moi je m'entraîne avec les meilleurs. Il arrivera en Angleterre la semaine prochaine pour que je puisse m'entraîner avec lui.
Ciryl Gane is making serious changes to his game ahead of his massive heavyweight title fight against Tom Aspinall at UFC 321. And this time, he's going straight to the source of elite grappling. The French striker has been training with none other than Olympic wrestling champion Akhmed Tazhudinov, one of the most dominant freestyle wrestlers in the world, as he looks to patch the one weakness critics have pointed out his entire career. Gane's partnership with Tazhudinov marks a clear evolution in his preparation. Known for his fluid movement and world-class striking, Gane has often been criticized for his lack of wrestling defense, a flaw exposed in his loss to John Jones. But this time, Gane looks determined to erase that narrative. Recent training footage shows the heavyweight contender grinding through wrestling drills, working on takedown defense, chain wrestling, and cage control under the watchful eye of the Dagestani powerhouse. In interviews, Gane admitted that wrestling has been his main focus in camp. "I know what people say about my ground game," he told reporters. "This time, I'm proving everyone wrong. I'm not just a striker anymore. I'm becoming a complete fighter." His partnership with Tazhudinov, who's known for his relentless pressure and technical precision, could be the key to finally leveling up his grappling skills to championship standards. With Tom Aspinall's explosive takedowns and top control posing a serious threat, Gane's decision to bring in an Olympic-caliber wrestler shows his commitment to evolving as a mixed martial artist. As UFC 321 approaches, fans are now asking, can Gane's new wrestling training be the game changer he needs to dethrone the British powerhouse? One thing's for sure, Ciryl Gane is no longer just dancing around the octagon. He's digging deep, wrestling with the best in the world, and preparing for the toughest test of his career. That's it for today's breakdown, fight fans. Stay tuned to Octagon HQ for more UFC updates, fighter insights, and exclusive fight camp stories. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep your eyes on the cage. The best is yet to come.